What up, guys? J&J Sports and Fantasy just coming back to another video. Tonight we're gonna be talking about what we got for Sunday slate, what we like, what we don't like, what we have for 1 p.m., 4 p.m. Sunday night football, and maybe even Monday night football. You guys might have to get a glimpse of that on the TikTok. But today we're gonna be covering Sunday slate and what we're thinking. I'm Jesse. RJ is my co-host. What you got, RJ?
What's going on, everybody? Like Jason said, we are back. We are here to bring you our best bets for Sunday football, the 1 o'clock, the 4 o'clock, and the Sunday night primetime games, and maybe even a little teaser on Monday, depending on what we have. But before we get into the video, we would like to tell everybody to thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, take a second, hit the subscribe button, leave us a like, shoot us a comment. We appreciate everybody that is joining us for our journey on the NFL sports season this year. And like Jesse said, you can go over to the TikTok. It's J&J Sports and Fantasy. You get to see our faces over there. We put up our bets early over there, so if you don't want to wait for the YouTube videos and the full discussion, you can get the easy early picks from over there. And as a bonus, you get to see our faces. And coming soon, we will be starting a TikTok only ladder challenge. So the picks for the ladder challenge will only be on TikTok. Go over there to get that value. But with that being said, Jesse, coming into our Sunday slate, even though we had a crappy Thursday night football bet, what are we looking at for Sunday? Your winners, your small winners for Sunday.
All right, so I've got the Rams to beat the Ravens. I think it's not even going to be close. I think they're going to put up at least 37. It may be into the 40s. So the Rams, solid lock. I've got the Colts to win. I've got the Patriots to win. I've got the Broncos to win, and I've got the Steelers to win. I know it's a five-leg parlay, but it's also a pretty safe five-leg parlay. All of these teams have been playing pretty good football, and the teams that they're playing are pretty bad, even though and I will touch on the Patriots. Patriots are coming off of a big win against big divisional win off against the Bills, and they are playing the sneaky, kind of good, kind of same. That one's a kind of hard to bet on. Let me just say that because you're not fully saying, oh, okay, the Patriots are going to win this. You're like 80-20 saying the Patriots are going to win this. So that's why I say that there. But it's a pretty safe bet. That's what I have my money on. RJ, what you got?
So I've only have one official money line, and that is the Colts, and that is just because the Colts have been playing unbelievable football this season. I don't think anyone expected them to show out the way they've been showing out this season, but everything is going right for the Colts. So I'm gonna ride the heater. I'm gonna take them on the money line against who they're playing this weekend. But as Jesse said, since there's going to be a little bit of gray area on that Pats game with, you maybe, maybe not, maybe not. They did just beat the Bills, but with there being a little bit of question in the air of it being an outright win, I've actually decided to take them on the spread. So I'm taking them at plus 4.5. Now you lose a little bit of odds, but with the setup that I'm giving you, you're still going to come out plus odds if you take it the way that I've got it set up. And I really do think that even if they can, it's going to be a close game. But even if they do lose, it's going to be less than 4 points. But in my opinion, I do think they are going to win. And then I'm also going to be taking the Bucks at plus 6.5. So the only reason that I am saying the Bucks are going to get the plus 6.5 is because they are playing against the 49ers, and I know they both got a lot of stuff going on right now, and I like both teams, but I like the Bucks a little bit more, but especially with what we just had happen Thursday night with, Jackson Dart and Scatterboo and the New York Giants outright destroying the Philadelphia Eagles at home. In case there's a little bit of shenanigans from Vegas or from the NFL or whatever's going on, I'm gonna give some plus money or plus points to the Bucks just in case they try to catch everybody on the opposite side of public money. Because I'm trying not to get got by Vegas again. Me and Jesse both, we had, what was it, close to It was close to $100 on the line between the two of us in multiple different bets. And the only reason we did not win any of our bets is because the Eagles lost on the money line. If the Eagles would have won that game, me and him together probably would have profited over $300, which is
Yeah,
insane.
kind of tough to think about when you realize that.
Right? But hey, we're at the mercy of the NFL and the sports book as of right now. But we're going to try and get some of that money back. And with us trying to get some of that money back, what's going to be your game plan for 1 o'clock bets?
So for the 1 o'clock bets, I'm kind of going ballsy here. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a 5 leg parlay. Um, I've got Jalen Waddle to go over 50 receiving yards. I've got Puka Nakua to go over 80 receiving yards. I've got Jonathan Taylor to go over 70 total yards. That's rushing and receiving. Then I've got Darren Waller to go over on 3+ receptions, 3 or more. And then I've got uh, JSN, aka Jackson Smith and Jigba, to go over 70 receiving yards. That's what I've got for 1 p.m. Do you have anything for 1 p.m. or how are you set up on that?
So, how I'm going to set it up. So, like Jesse said, he has a big parlay for 1 o'clock, which I like it because I think his current bet, the way it stands, if you get it in between today and before game time, as long as the lines don't shift too much, you'll turn $5 into almost $30, which is solid. But the way I'm going to run this one, and it looks a little bit weird on the PowerPoint. I apologize for that. I was in a rush, but I am going to run 3 anytime touchdowns in just a straight up parlay. And from the numbers that I've looked at as of today, these guys have the highest percentage wise to get in the end zone this weekend. So we're looking at Josh Jacobs, who just got off a bye. We're looking at Kyron Williams, who's just been tearing everybody up, and James Cook, who's he's scored almost every single game, hasn't he? He's only missed what, one game where he didn't get a touchdown?
Yeah, that was his last pass game.
Yeah, so that's the only one he hasn't scored. And all three of these guys are over 62% for their teams to get in the end zone. So I've got them all three together. If you put these three guys together for anytime touchdown, and it does hit, $5 turns into like, I think it's $35. So that's also not bad for three guys to get touchdowns, who are also the most likely to get touchdowns. Speaking of touchdowns,
Yeah,
go ahead. You're good.
I really like that bet, especially Kyron Williams. Kyron Williams, I don't know why I left him off. I'm not gonna lie to you. I should have put him on for a touchdown, or at least rushing yards or total yards. He's been doing pretty well against for as a running back for literally everybody. He cooked last week. He had a really good week last week against the Niners, even though he did fumble and cost him the game. But I thought he played really well up until that point, and I, especially against the Ravens, he's got a great matchup there. I I should have put some money on him this week, but dude, you've got a great bet going on there, especially with what it pays out with. Dude, that's pretty good.
Heck yeah, man. I did a little bit of deep digging to get that one. And yeah, I mean, if you end up wanting to, run something back, we can always run something back. We still have money in the sports book, so we're good. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, dude, and I can't even really be mad at the fumble. Yes, fumble shouldn't happen, but I mean, at the end of the day, dude is human. You know what I mean? We expect him to play perfect every single time we bet on him, but it's just not the reality. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's just not. Yeah.
it happens. It's going to happen. I mean, I can't fault him for having one fumble when he's been playing fantastic otherwise.
Literally pretty much played a perfect game up until that last play.
So, and like I think I've said it on here before, I usually like to give everybody, because everybody is human, I usually give everybody one or two mess ups before they go on the ban list. He's burned one. Not mad at him. It's like a light warning, a little slap on the wrist. Hey man, I get it. You're okay. Don't let it happen again.
I know that's right.
But speaking of touchdowns, oh wait, you don't have one on here. So for your 4 o'clock bets, what are you thinking for 4 o'clock?
I do have an anytime touchdown on that.
Do you have for it? Oh, you do. You have Josh
I
Jacobs.
do. I have Josh Jacobs to grab an anytime touchdown on my 4 p.m. bets. Got Emeka Egbuka to go over 50 receiving yards. I've got Christian McCaffrey to go over 70 total yards, and then I've got Ashton Genty to go over 60 total yards. That's my little bet for the 4 p.m. bets. What else you got?
You absolutely do. That was my fault. I did not have it on the spreadsheet. Or spreadsheet. God, I keep saying that. On the PowerPoint. So anybody who's watching the video just watched me update the PowerPoint in real time. Hello. Welcome to the backside of production, everybody. But so that I really like your bet. I was actually thinking about piggybacking on yours and adding an extra 5 to it, but I'm saving it for that strategy that we talked about earlier that I'm going to probably touch on the next slide. But so what I've got for technically it's not a 4 o'clock specific bet, but so how I'm going to do this, and I talked about it on TikTok. If you guys want to go over there and check it out, it's a shorter version of this if you ain't got time. But so on the official sports books, usually DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, you have the option to do what's called a round robin. And not a lot of people utilize this, but it's actually a good tool if you can find the right odds and the right value. So along with my anytime touchdown bet from the last slide, I went and did some research on stats for who's most likely to get the first touchdown in specific games. And what you're seeing right now are the 3 players who had the highest percentages based on their matchups this week and how the offense and defense have been playing against each other in these specific games to get the first touchdown of the game. Is this risky? Absolutely. Will it hit? Probably not. But that's why we're going to do the round robin. And what a round robin is, so, and you can do this with 3 legs or more. So the more you do it, the more money you kind of have to put on it, but it'll make sense in a second. So for this, I've got it at 3 legs, and the reason I kept it at 3 legs is because I can put less money on it. But how a round robin works is I've got 3 guys to get the first touchdown of their games. As long as I get 2 out of the 3, I still win. So I can miss one of these guys on the bet and I will still make money. And the way that I have the bet set up, the total bet for my round robin is about $1.50. So as long as 2 of them get the first touchdown of the game, I make $85. If all 3 hit and get the first touchdown of their games, I win the $85 for the partial bet of the round robin, and then it also stacks for the full parlay, which the full parlay, if all 3 hit, is going to hit for, let me double check, make sure I'm not giving you guys bad information. Where's that? The full parlay hits for $300. So it'll be $300 plus the 85 for 2. So if it hits all the way through, it's almost $400. And if I miss by 1, I make 80, which in my opinion is not a bad deal for a $1.50 bet. Will it hit? Probably not. This is a high risk bet, guys. I'm not saying you should take this, but if you have $1.50 you don't care to throw away, put it on here because Ladd McConkey, and I know not everybody's super popular on Ladd right now, but Ladd McConkey has a 63% chance to be the first touchdown in his game. Ashton Genty is at 68%, and I want to say Josh Jacobs off his bye against the Bengals this week is going to be at 71. So, take it or leave it. I'm putting it out here for you guys. It's great value for very, very low entry odds to get in on this bet. I know you had some thoughts on this bet earlier when we were talking about it. You wanna you wanna tell the people your stance on those 3
I
guys?
hate this bet. I hate this bet. It's horrible. Like the best way to describe this bet is pardon my French, dog shit. I would never take this bet a day in my life. Ladd McConkey is not the number 1 receiver on the Chargers, and I don't see him getting a touchdown. I don't think he's gotten a touchdown at all this year. So I just if anything, I would have been smarter of who I chose. I would have chosen Quentin Johnston probably for the wide receiver to grab a touchdown. And I know just a year ago we were calling him Butterfingers, and he's not a wide receiver. He's not a wide receiver one and stuff like that. He stepped up his game a lot. So that's what I would have for that. Josh Jacobs, I really like. And who was the third person again? You had
Genty.
Genty. Okay, that one's so iffy too because he'll get down to the 5 yard line and then they'll be like, and then the Raiders offensive coordinator is like, you know what we should do? We should pass the ball. A- and it ends horribly, probably with 3 points every time, and it literally every time, and it ends so bad. And Geno Smith, can we talk about how dog shit he is too? Sorry, pardon my French again. He is not good at the game of football. He looks like the Jets Geno Smith from a couple years back. Like, what are we doing?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong in any sense of any of that. He's not played very well at all. But so, and in defense, devil's advocate on my side. So, Lad McConkey, he's not receiver number one, and I don't think he has gotten a touchdown. But what the numbers are saying is based on the current matchup. They are going to be looking to shut down Quentin Johnson, and they're maybe not shut him down, but they're going to put enough coverage on him that he's less likely to be the first touchdown recipient. I guess you could say it like that. But so when I looked at it, his odds to be the first touchdown was only 32%, and I'm guessing it's because Lad McConkey is further down on the receiver list. That even though he is a weapon and he is a threat, they are going to be more focused on trying to get Johnson and Keenan Allen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So depending on what the route is, who's in for the snap, and how the plays are gonna develop, they're thinking it's gonna be, within red zone range that Lad McConkey is gonna be on the play and he's gonna run a route that's not gonna be as covered if, Johnson's on it or Keenan Allen's on it. They're gonna worry less about Lad and worry about receiver one and two, and they're gonna throw in a sneak, like quick dart pass straight to him in the end zone is what I'm seeing from the numbers. And then Genty
yeah. No,
also.
screw that. Jack, uh, Justin Herbert's a dog. He don't give a frig.
No,
He's gonna throw it up.
I get it. I get it. I know. But I'm just going with what the numbers say, and I'm basing my opinion off of what the numbers say because that's the only thing that I can fathom is the reason on why his percentage is so much higher than receiver one and two.
You know what? You know what the difference is between you and I?
What's that?
You really want to hear it?
I'm listening.
You are the numbers guy. I am the common sense guy.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Hey, sometimes you have to just let the numbers be the numbers, man.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not gonna argue with you on that
And
because
realistically, if we look at
you
it,
call you. I'm not gonna lie to you. You called it the other day. Well, I should have listened to you. I was right. I was completely wrong. You were right on the money line of the Eagles. You were like, "Are you sure you want to take this? How confident are you?" I
and
said, "I'm really confident."
I even agreed with you. I was like, in the real world, there is absolutely no reason whatsoever that the Giants should beat the Eagles. But based on what the numbers are saying and what everything is looking like, it looks like there's going to be an upset. And again, this is me just looking at the numbers and why I brought it to you, the common sense guy, and was like, how confident are you that these numbers are wrong? Give me a reason to bet on common sense.
And I did. I felt like it was a good reason too.
For sure, for sure. I mean, I put all of my bets with you. I put it on Eagles money line, and it didn't happen. It's unfortunate, but that it's just how it goes sometimes because it's going to be the same thing, say a week from now or 2 weeks from now. I'm going to give you a stat, and say, for this example, let's say Genty is at 70% and not even first touchdown, but anytime touchdown. We're going to say Genty's at 70% for an anytime touchdown, and Josh Jacobs is at 65%. A two-leg parlay, $5 bets win you $20 based on what we've got. And then come game day, something's going to happen, and Josh Jacobs is going to get shut down, and we're going to miss the bet. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
So, I mean, and everybody listening, remember, guys, these are our opinions. As Jesse said, he has football knowledge to a T, and he has more football common sense than I do. I look at historical data, numbers, and I have a couple of websites that I reference just to check my math, so to speak, make sure I'm on the right track and I'm not overlooking some small details that I may miss, because me and Jesse go through these games and these players and these stats and the matchups literally all week long, almost all day long. This is mostly what we talk about when we're talking, to give you guys 2 YouTube videos a week, and maybe 4 or 5 YouTube shorts, and 4 or 5 TikTok videos throughout the week. We do all of this stuff for you guys, but the amount of research that goes into this is all for you guys, and that's just how it plays out sometimes. So with that being said, let's roll over to our prime time bets. What's going to be your favorite looks on Kansas City at Arrowhead facing off against the Detroit Lions?
Okay, so I have both quarterbacks to go over 200 pass yards. I've got Jahmyr Gibbs to go over 80 total rushing and receiving yards. I've got Xavier Worthy to go to grab 4+ receptions, and then I've got for my last one, I've got David Montgomery to go over 30 rush yards. I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
So that's a pretty safe bet. Nothing really too crazy out of the ordinary. I think it's just going to be a good game where the Lions win, and I don't expect this bet to not hit. It should hit. If it doesn't, there's a problem. Because both of the all of that sounds really really safe, especially with what's been happening in the games played.
No, I agree. I really like your bet completely. And
What do you have for Sunday Night Football?
I am taking a slightly different bet for Sunday Night Football. And the reason that I am taking this bet is because we recently had a buddy of ours at work. And if you're listening to this, shout out Steven Scarlett. So he had a bet that for some reason myself or Jesse has not thought of to create this type of bet. So we have the Kansas City Chiefs facing off against the Lions. My bet is going to be for, and I know if you're looking at it, it looks kind of crazy, but just hear me out. I'm taking Xavier Worthy anytime touchdown, Jahmyr Gibbs anytime touchdown, Kareem Hunt anytime touchdown, Montgomery anytime touchdown, and Amon Ra anytime touchdown. Again, it sounds insane, but the whole strategy behind this bet is we're going to take all of these guys in a parlay for the anytime touchdown. It's both sides of the ball. And let's be honest, if you really want to win football games, you need to get touchdowns. Yes, field goals can help separate, and when you're getting shut down, it kind of get you over a little bit. But most of the time, you need those touchdowns to really separate from each other. And the plan is, as the game develops, as long as we have the right combination of people that are getting touchdowns, once you hit about 2 or 3 guys for a touchdown, say, the first half, Jahmyr Gibbs gets a rushing touchdown, and we get Xavier Worthy for a touchdown. That's 2. Come third quarter, if we're able to get a Kareem Hunt rushing touchdown or an Amon Ra receiving touchdown, as long as we can get about 3 or 4 of those legs cleared up, we're going to be able to cash out early and take our profits early before the game's over with and make astronomical money. And what I mean by that is, for this example, with the guys that I currently have on this anytime touchdown bet, if you were to take it the way I'm taking it, all of these guys for an anytime touchdown, I have $1. This is $1, guys. I mean, you can literally find $1 in the couch cushions of your house. And if you get it pays out $160 if it was to hit all the way through. Do I think it's going to hit all the way through? Absolutely not. What I'm going to be looking for is the Gibbs touchdown, the Kareem Hunt touchdown, and either or and an Amon-Ra or a Worthy touchdown. If we can get 3, I'm willing to guarantee / bet you that they're going to offer you anywhere from $60 to $80 to get out of this bet. And if you can take $1 and make between 60 and 80 bucks, that's a good deal. Because literally, again, shout out Steven Scarlett. He had, I think it was a $10 bet on Thursday Night Football for, I think it was like a 5-leg parlay on anytime touchdowns. He had 4 guys get the touchdowns, and they paid him $150 to get out early. I mean, it
And
doesn't
it's a
get.
good thing he did because the fifth leg didn't do it.
Yeah, the 5th leg missed, so he literally got $150 to get out early off of a $10 bet. I mean, that's good money. Who couldn't use an extra $150 for watching people who make millions of dollars a year get in the end zone?
I know I could.
So that's going to be the angle I'm going to take on the Sunday Night Football. I'm probably going to test this strategy out for at least another week or two to see if it's going to be as profitable as our buddy from work. Because you can't always base everything off of a one game bet. You have to have some data, you have to have some historical instances and be able to backtrack and see if it's a strategy that's going to play out in the long run, or if it was more of just a luck of the day bet. So you guys watching, I'm probably going to run this back on a couple of different games over the next probably 2 or 3 weeks, and we're gonna see how it plays out. And as the videos we make in the future, I will keep you updated on how much money I made off these bets, because we've gotten to the point we don't talk about losers. Nobody cares about losers. You lost money, we lost money. It's not worth talking about. We're just going to focus on the future and making profits. But since this bet specifically is designed to get out early before we lose, I will keep you updated on how much money we're winning based off the strategy, or if it's overall just not making the money we think it's going to make. So, speaking of making crazy money, Jesse, how about this mega monster parlay that you're putting together for this weekend?
Okay, so I had a little bit of extra time on my hands during my, I know, sounds crazy, my break at work. I try to spend as much time as I can on this YouTube channel and TikTok to get stuff out to you guys. So I cooked up something big. So I'm taking my 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. bets and adding more to that. I'm putting this all together. I'm putting Jalen Waddle over 50 receiving yards, Puka Nacua over 80 receiving yards, Jonathan Taylor over 70 total yards, Darren Waller 3+ receptions, Emeka Buka over 50 receiving yards, Josh Jacobs anytime touchdown, CMC 70 total yards, and Ashton Jeanty 60 total yards, bringing both those 2 bets together. And then I'm adding Darren Waller anytime touchdown, Jake Ferguson anytime touchdown, Jake Ferguson for 40+ receiving yards. Then I've got Stephon Diggs for over 60 receiving yards. Then I've got CMC to grab an anytime touchdown as well. I've got Romeo Dobbs to grab an anytime touchdown. And then I've got JSN to go over 80 receiving yards. Pretty sure I've already said that, but just wanted to reiterate that again. I know it's ballsy. I don't think everything's going to hit, but if all of the 1 p.m. magically magically hit, they're going to offer you an amazing cash out immediately. Because who doesn't like it? You have to And if you think everything else is gonna hit, let it ride. That's what I say. Let it ride. Just let it ride. So that's something that I cooked up. I don't know if it's gonna hit. I'm praying a dollar that I put on it. It's like RJ said, something that you grab out of your couch cushions.
Absolutely. And I mean, these little fun bets, I consider them fun bets because the chances of them hitting are very low. But like Jesse said, they are, as a value standpoint, very good bets to take. Because if you've got a dollar, $2 you've got to spare, you can throw it on something super crazy. And I mean, when it comes down to numbers and statistics, all it is the right sequence of choices for that weekend. Because regardless of whether you think this team's going to win, that team's going to win, if they're going to cover the spread, if they're going to be over or under the projected line, if you're able to get the right sequence of choices that you have for that weekend and it plays out the way it should, I mean, literally, there are people making thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars just having the right sequence on any given weekend. So we're gonna probably keep shooting these called most people know them as called lotto bets. It's a shot in the dark, but we have a slight edge because Jesse has great football knowledge and good, you know, understanding of the game of football because he's watched it so long. And I'm able to go in and dig in and look at stats and the percentages and try and figure out where we can get an edge one way or the other. And eventually, we are I'm not going to say if, it's going to be more of a when. When we hit one of these big lotto bets, it's going to be crazy. And I hope you guys are tailing one of us for a dollar or $1.50 on one weekend when it does hit because it's going to be crazy.
And something I could also say, uh, you can move all of these lines down if you're on a big sports book, like aka like DraftKings or FanDuel or something like that. Um, you can move some of these lines. Like the anytime touchdowns, you can't move, but like the receptions and the receiving yards, if you're not as confident as I am in these, move them down. You're spending a dollar. You got to remember that you're spending a dollar. Who care? You already have freaking God knows how many lines on there. At least 15 lines. At least 15 legs. Who cares about what you move and what you don't move? Bring it down to the bare minimum and take the over. That's just playing it smart.
I actually
And I chose.
really agree with
Yeah,
what
go
you're
ahead.
saying. I actually really agree with what you're saying because a lot of times, we have some certain advantages that most people might not. But if you're listening to this and like Jesse said, you're not super comfortable with where we are, or you think we might be wrong by a couple of points or a couple of yards, like Jesse said, if you're on an official sports book, you have the option to move the lines. You don't have to take exactly what we take. We're here to give you our best bets and our best opinion on what we see based on matchups and numbers. Go to where you're comfortable. If like where Jesse's got Jared Goff at 200 yards. If you think he's not going to get 200, move him down to 175. Yeah, you're going to lose a little bit of money on the odds, but if you're only betting a dollar, and like Jesse said, if you've got 10, 15, 18 legs, it's really not going to matter that much. You're going to turn a dollar into at least 30, 40, 60, 80, $100 depending on how big you bet. Or the opposite is true. If you think we're playing too safe or too close to the average, and
Move
you
the
think,
point. No.
yeah, if you think Jared Goff is going to have a monster game, you can push it up and take him for 250 or 275 and get even better odds and then turn a $1 into a $200 bet. You guys play
And
with it.
honest,
Go ahead.
yeah, and honestly, for the Rams game, take Matthew Stafford for over 250 yards. Take him for over three. He's gonna hit it. That defense is god awful. But yeah, I might play it safe and have him at 200 yards just because I have so many legs. I'm allowed to do that. If I have five legs, I'm gonna put my quarterbacks to have 200 yards. It's just because it's automatic now in these days of the NFL. But I know that he's going to have at least 250 yards because of how he throws the football
Oh
and
yeah,
who he has on his team.
exactly. I mean, the options he has to throw to, and then the Rams are playing the Ravens this week, aren't they?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
literally,
that god awful.
yeah, literally half the Ravens team is in the hospital right now. I mean, like Jesse said, take him for 300 yards. What are you losing? If you take him for 300 yards, you could put him on a straight by himself and make $20 off a $5 bet.
Yeah, so that's just what I'm thinking. Like, just think smarter, not harder. Like, don't think you have to add this many legs and keep the lines the same and stuff like that. No, dude, just play it safe. If you want to play it safe, play it safe. You already have 15 legs. Bring it down. It's more likely to hit. Nobody's gonna punish you for doing that.
Oh yeah. No, no, no. I'm with you. And also, as also a piece of advice, you know, we put the PowerPoint up for you guys to visually see and hear us talking about stuff. If you don't like something I have or you don't like something Jesse has or vice versa, you can combine our bets. You could take, like, for example, we're looking at Sunday Night Football PowerPoint. If you like Mahomes passing yards and you like Worthy's reception, but you're 100% sure Gibbs is going to get a touchdown, put those three together. Mix and match. I mean, this is all up to you guys. I mean, we're here to give you the information and what we're putting money on, but you're at your own liberty to create your own bets based off of what we give you. And if you do, let us know. Send us something in the comments. Tell us, hey, I took Jesse's Jared Goff over 200, and RJ, I'm taking your Worthy for an anytime touchdown, and I'm putting $5 on it to win $30. And if it hits, let us know. Like, that would make our day just to hear you guys are taking bits and pieces of our bets together and making money, because that's the end goal of what we're doing, is not only to make us money but make you guys money. Like, we're doing this for everybody to make money and have a community of people that are looking out for each other, helping each other out, and making some money off of these guys that are making literal millions of dollars for us to watch on weekends.
No, that's right. And the reason I'm gonna spend that much money and not try to at least make some.
Absolutely. But with that being said, Jesse, do you have anything else for these lovely people before we decide to get out of here tonight and get ready for these Sunday football games?
No, go check out the TikTok. These bets are posted if you just want to take screenshots and share them with your friends and stuff like that. They are on there. Um, Also on my big bet, or I have a whole bunch of player props and stuff like that. You can also just if you don't like some of the 1 p.m. bets that I have, switch out a leg with one of the guys on one like that I have on there. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to do that just because I have it on there like that. You can switch Darren Waller for an anytime touchdown for Darren Waller for 3+ receptions. It's just completely up to you guys and what you choose to do with that. Uh, so that's it from me. Uh, RJ, you take us home.
All right, guys, like Jesse said, uh, go over to the TikTok, follow us on TikTok. We're putting bets out for you guys over there. We are also going to be starting a ladder challenge very soon, probably next week. We haven't narrowed down the details yet, but we're either going to start with $5 or $10, and we're going to try and do a ladder challenge to get us up to about $100 or $200 if you guys want to follow along with that ladder challenge. Meet us over there at TikTok. That's where that bet is going to be specifically. While you're here listening to us talk all football and our bets for this weekend, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, join the community. Let's make some money this weekend. Happy button to everybody. Peace out. We're getting out of here. See you next week.